Hello, welcome to KTWT. Thanks for joining us today. My name's Jack. If you've not been here before, thanks to our little ident. Theme of today's show is Keep the Wheels Turning, where you can support all of our traders whilst they can't do markets, can't do events, can't do what they normally do. So if you come here through the kind of support small local businesses tag on Instagram or anywhere else, thanks for coming today. If you want to support any of our traders, you can do here on curbfood.store, which I think, oh yeah, there it is. Here it is. So we're kind of, today's focus is going to be kind of curb ecosystem in action. So we've got three different traders to talk with today. And the first trader we're going to be talking today with is Carly, who was on our Curb Bootcamp maybe a month ago. So it's going to be really fun. Hey, Carly.
Hi, Jack.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How have you? What have you been up to since doing the bootcamp?
Well, after the bootcamp, I've been working on my brand and the backstory.
Yeah.
I thought about a name and kind of designed the aesthetics of the frontage. And I wanted to build it, but obviously everything's still pretty much shut.
Yeah.
So I can't actually get hold of the material, but I might actually just weave my own. So that's my
Okay,
next.
cool. Very, very handy. So to
Yeah.
anyone who wasn't watching, you you came onto the bootcamp with an idea to do Hunan street food, right? So like the only Hunan street food trader in London. So how have you like kind of looked at your dishes since then, or has it been more kind of the other aspects of your store?
Yes, more kind of like the reason why I want to do this.
Okay.
So the overall theme was always kind of just to do food from my hometown because Hunan cuisine is quite a special one. It's got really punchy and bold flavors.
Yeah.
But what I've really been thinking about is what makes it so special to me and the reason why I want to do it.
Yeah.
But basically, I grew up in China and it was often my grandma that looked after me. So it's her cooking that I have the most fond memories of, especially her red braised pork belly.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to champion that as my hero dish.
Okay. You're watching on Tuesday then?
Yes, I was. And now
Nice.
I really want to master my chili oil to make
Yeah.
it really special.
Yeah, that's definitely something to help you stand out against
Yeah,
other people.
sure. Yeah. And also just kind of going back to when I first moved to the UK, I remember landing in London and going to Chinatown the second day. And we went to this restaurant. I literally had a breakdown to my mum because they just didn't have my favorite dish on the menu, like a Hunan dish. And I just couldn't understand why, but I was 10 then and like I was probably like really badly jet lagged. And
No, but those food memories like stick with us.
yeah, exactly.
And I think that at the moment that's what a lot of us can do. You know, like it's our favorite restaurants or our favorite cuisines, and not every restaurant is doing delivery or has found a way to pivot. So people are trying to recreate those things at home, just like you when you were 10 years old.
Yeah,
Searching for that dish out there. So what? So you've been talking about like you've got a gazebo, is that right?
I've got a gazebo, yes.
Yeah. How's that been setting that up and like trying to?
I'm getting better at it. I actually managed to do it by myself last time.
It's quite hard to do when it's a big heavy thing.
Like I've really struggled to like pull it apart, but slowly and steady will win the race.
I think on our YouTube channel there's Lily from Steakhouse setting up. Yeah, that's good. Maybe we need to do like a 5-minute like how to set up a gazebo for street food kind of video for everyone. That'd be helpful. So you're talking about branding as well and like kind of trying to understand exactly why you want to do something. So are you still sticking with Soy Yum, or are you starting to think of different kind of words and names?
So basically the whole theme is like my homeland, and so I've renamed it Homeland, but also it's got a Chinese name which is 故乡, and 故乡 means homeland in Chinese, but the xiang I've chosen to use has the same sounding, but it's also the abbreviated name for Hunan. So it all just ties in together a lot more. It just feels more cohesive to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really useful to kind of progress into the next stage, and everything kind of ties in together.
Yeah, that's quite like multi-layered, isn't it? Like, and I
Mhm.
think that's what happens when you start to really think about like why you're doing something,
Yeah,
like you said, you're asking yourself and trying to identify like those little things that really are special to you and the reasons for why you're doing it.
yeah.
So you're trying to build like some of the frontage and things yourself. How's that going?
Well, I've ordered the material, so that's coming along. I'm gonna probably start that next week. But also I've kind of been working on the logo. I've got my uncle in China to help me because he's really good at calligraphy.
Oh wow, okay,
So
cool.
he's actually like handwritten the Chinese word and made it into kind of like a red stamp style, which is quite common in Chinese kind of signage.
Okay,
So that's going to be part of my logo.
cool.
Yeah,
I
so
love
that's together.
I love the idea of like incorporating that onto like you're giving someone a carton or a lunchbox and you put that's like the final seal, like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
this is 100% genuine. Uh,
Yeah.
it's really really cool.
Hmm.
So like where are you locked down at the moment? Are you in London or are you elsewhere?
I'm currently in Ipswich at my parents' place.
Okay.
It's quite good because they've got a massive garden, and I can just kind of practice setting up my gazebo. But tomorrow I might actually make a trip down to London to meet Lee from Greedy Cow
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so
because
you're thinking of buying some stuff from him?
yeah, it's quite exciting because he's got
Yeah.
like some cool boxes and maybe some pots and pans. So yeah, I'll probably make some purchases of him.
Yeah, it's starting to feel real now. Like you're starting
Hmm.
to kind of it's it not you're taking the risks, right?
Yeah,
Like buying equipment and things like that, and that's like oh my god, when things go back to normal, I'm actually gonna have to like go out there and get to it and do it.
exactly. Yeah, and I can
Yeah,
practice kind of like doing a service with my parents once I've got all the bits and bobs in place.
yeah, yeah. Um, I guess like markets. Obviously, the government announcement on Sunday meant well, I guess vague in some ways, but at least seems to be people thinking about coming back to markets and starting to trade. And I guess that's something that might be coming back in the next month or maybe two. Are you starting to think about like where you'd like to trade or like to like do that kind of first day on the market?
Yeah, I mean, wow, I'd like to be with Curb if I
Cool.
could, um, but no pressure.
Yeah.
Um, but also, I'm kind of just like playing it by ear, really, because I want to do it like in the safest way possible.
Yeah.
So even if it's not to kind of launch with markets to begin with, I could do like rent a kitchen and kind of do Deliveroo. So it's completely contactless. But that's kind of just what I've been thinking about. But
Yeah.
obviously, I'd love to get on the market
Yeah.
ASAP.
I think like definitely experimenting with doing even if it was just for I don't know where you were living in London or where you plan to live, but just doing like some local deliveries for people around your
Mhm.
area, that might be a nice way rather than like something like delivery is quite a big investment,
Right.
like there's a lot of things, but maybe it's the right thing uh,
Yeah.
for you to do. What's one of the things that you're kind of excited to do when you get back? Like, what's the one thing like, oh, I can't wait to go and do this?
I can't wait to come and drop you guys my food. Literally, when I come back to London, I'm going to drive to both you and Ollie's house and just drop you my lunchbox and see what you think. Just
Yeah,
kind of get a bit more of a feedback and see whether you think that this actually could happen for real and it's not just
yeah.
all about that.
Well,
Obviously.
I think you're like it's one of the things that we say to people a lot. Like people come to our workshops, like you did, or people email us or message us, and we always say to them like, it's about your idea, it's about your goal, it's about what you want to do, and
Mhm.
something like obviously we love supporting the most exciting, new, innovative street food traders, but it's especially those ones who are like, I have this goal and this vision, and I'm going to get there anyway. I'm
Yeah,
going to do what it takes to get there, and if that means curb, great. If that doesn't, whatever.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
you have a dream of opening a restaurant, right?
Hmm. Yeah, so restaurant is definitely the final goal, but that's when I'm kind of completely sure that my idea works really well and that I've got enough of like people knowing about what I'm doing, and then I think I'll be confident enough to go ahead with the restaurant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't wait to get on the streets as soon as possible.
Okay, well, I think that's a great place to end because we have our next guest who recently kind of started on the streets and then kind of got quickly drawn off away. So thank you for joining us today, and it's been really nice to check in with you after doing the boot camp with you. What was it, a month ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone quick.
Yeah. And you've been using that time to develop it and think about it and kind of calligraphy and gazebo and frontage and pots and pans and like all that stuff. That's really cool. So I'm really excited to try some food and see you on the street. Hopefully in 2020.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Good luck with everything, and let us know how it goes with the pots and pans.
Will do. See you soon.
Bye, Carly.
Bye.
Yeah, so for those who didn't see, Carly did our boot camp series about a month ago, which we kind of invited loads of different street food traders to come and talk about different aspects of being a street food trader. So all of those videos are on our YouTube channel, which you can watch. The one with Joel from Oh My Dog, I know Carly found incredibly helpful. So I can definitely recommend that one, but they're all really good. And there's loads of other videos you can watch on there. So on to our next guest. Carly was talking about how hungry she was to actually get onto the streets and actually serve people her food. And our next guests are Billy and Kaylee from Calamari Canteen. Hey guys.
Hi.
You're like 6 months ahead, 9 months ahead of Carly, in the sense that you'd been trading last year, you just got a van. For anyone who doesn't know or heard of you before, who can't figure out what it is you do, can you tell us a little bit about your street food business and what's happening right now?
Like with Calamari Canteen, we started out as cocktails and calamari last year. We started off writing a small food article in a local magazine. And then from that, I ended up booking a pitch fee for a food festival. And that's what kicked off the street food business, I guess. Yeah. And then for that, we was actually serving cocktails and calamari. We was pairing cocktails with our food.
But we only had probably a month to actually come up with a menu of what we're going to sell for that festival, because Billy booked it up and didn't tell me until kind of the last minute. He at a whim, we just had this blog and we had an article in a magazine, a free magazine, and we loved cooking. It was always a pipe dream really to actually eventually have like a deli or a restaurant or sell street food in some sense, and then Billy just kind of went and did it. So we knew it'd be calamari, but we didn't really know what we were going to sell. What cuisine it would be, what we would do. So it's kind of evolved from there. And now obviously we've got the van and we've kind of rebranded it a little bit to be Calamari Canteen, just to make it a little bit clearer for people.
Obviously when we moved into Curb with you guys and that, and a lot of the lunch markets, obviously we're not going to be able to sell alcohol anyway. And just making the brand a lot clearer for people on their lunch, like they're going to have a short window to decide what they're going to get. So. Yeah.
And why calamari? Like, why did you want to focus on that and kind of seafood?
Well, Kaylee doesn't eat meat, and we're both kind of like big fish lovers, I guess, fish and seafood.
I'd say it was kind of the first thing. I mean, when we got together, I don't know, 7 or so years ago, we both liked food, but being kind of early 20s, we hadn't gone to that many nice restaurants. We hadn't necessarily kind of discovered the food that we know and enjoy now. And I'd probably say that calamari was kind of like the first food that we started really getting into and enjoying, and it kind of spurred on the love of seafood for us. And I mean, in terms of our brand, we are trying to get a little bit more fish.
Yeah, I mean,
like
we're Calamari Canteen. Obviously, like we're specializing in calamari and incorporating it into dishes, not just portion of calamari, but we're also using a lot of other seafood. So like some king prawns, and we've been doing like fish patties, making our own fish patties and stuff. So yeah,
and so with all your markets kind of cancelled, like I guess you had quite a lot of plans for this year. You know, you guys bought a van, right? How was that experience?
Yeah, I mean,
it was daunting because you just don't know, do you? What you know, you're kind of just looking on Gumtree and you're kind of going through loads of different things that, you know, ready-made ones that are kind of 50 grand and, you know, all these kind of crazy prices, and it's just trying to hunt something down that is going to
that's suitable for what you need. Yeah, I mean, it was a big decision, I guess, moving from a gazebo to the van. I mean, our main driver for getting it was practicality, because we live in Chelmsford in Essex. Travelling into London for the markets and that.
It saves you a bit of time,
Exactly, it saves us a bit of time, and it's just.
I mean, we could have got a transit van and, you know, carried on with the gazebo, but we just thought we'd go for it, and I think it was that jump and that leap of buying the van, getting our friend to. We're really lucky. We've got a friend, Catherine Pierce. Just plugging her there.
Nice one.
She is a great graphic designer, and she really helped us out, and she, you know, designed our initial logo, redesigned the logo for Calamari Canteen, using the initial logo for what we had before with cocktails and calamari, kind of branding it. She drew all the designs herself, and, you know, that whole process was really fun, creating that kind of new side of the business. And then getting the van wrapped and kind of seeing that final product was pretty cool.
Made it feel real, you know, like oh my god, we're actually doing this.
Exactly, it gave us that kind of
I don't know, like just spur and motivation, I guess, realization as well.
Our jobs, to kind of have in our notices
and that was in like January, February, right?
So we handed in our we got the van in.
Bought the van in mid-January, I think it was.
And got it all wrapped and everything, and then handed in our notice two or 3 weeks before COVID.
Wow!
So
what a time!
So we just kind of got the ball rolling, but obviously it's only stopped. It's still going to carry on. When this is
so you obviously started doing some markets with it in this kind of strange in between time, like a bit nervousness, and now it's kind of just docked outside your house, but you started doing delivery, right?
I mean, we've only done it the last couple of weekends. We hadn't done anything for a while, just because I guess like most, we didn't really know what was going on, and we didn't
know how long it was going to last.
And we didn't really know what we was going to do, to be honest.
And it was kind of rejigging the menu a little bit of what would actually travel well. We didn't want to do our menu that we'd made for kind of for street markets in general. And then it not really work for Deliveroo, and people not being happy with what we're making. So
I think, like, especially with the fish patty that we normally have at our curb markets.
I mean, it's huge for one.
I just don't think it like really travelled well for delivery, especially like with a runny fried egg and stuff like that. So we kind of took a little bit of time rejigging a menu about what would work for Deliveroo.
And what's the response been like? Like, is there much competition in somewhere like Chelmsford on delivery? Like,
no, not really. I mean, around here it's pretty much.
It's just a lot of your chain restaurants, and then kind of like kebab houses and like
Domino's, Pizza Hut, that kind of. Yeah, there's not all that much. There's a couple of independent places, but they're more pizza.
A lot of pizza.
Yeah, they're not really doing what we're offering. And actually, we've found that people responded really well. The first week, we completely sold out.
Yeah,
really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we're really cautious. We thought, well, what could we do? Maybe let's get less than we would usually do on a market. And just see how it goes for that first couple of days. And we completely sold out by an hour into Saturday. So
wow.
Yeah, we had to kind of, apologize to everyone.
Yeah.
Restock again.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, I guess, and it shows you like how the hunger that people have for small local independent businesses who can offer something that's maybe more like being back in the real world, you know, like I can order a pizza anytime, you know.
Exactly.
And but I like probably not many people are kind of getting squid right now and making calamari at home, deep frying it, like all that kind of stuff. So it's something.
We did have comments like that, like people saying that they miss, I guess because it's on a lot of restaurants' menus as a starter, kind of like a go-to starter for most people.
Yeah.
But they're saying that they're missing calamari and stuff like that. And I think people were ordering our stuff as a meal, or as well they're adding it to their like other orders or stuff.
Yeah,
so just like
a lot of people said that, you know, some people said they were cooking, but then they were having calamari as like a starter. So yeah, making maybe their weekend a little bit more interesting. Yeah.
And you're giving a quiz away, right? With your deliveries this week?
Yeah.
Is that what
I mean, we're quite surprised, as we said, with the uptake, because no one really knows us as such in Chelmsford, because we've been concentrating so much in London. So we've had to try a whole new way of marketing, I guess. Like I've never really used Facebook and Facebook groups for promoting our business.
Yeah.
But we found like locally, if we've had quite an uptake on it. So yeah,
Amazing.
just as like a thank you and stuff like that, we make a weekly quiz just to put in with the bags and like a little thank you handwritten note and a pack of Haribos and stuff. Just like thanks for supporting us, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really like shows like having a bit of like personal relationship with your customers.
Exactly.
Like it's not just, you know, I guess, you know, maybe one of the criticisms of things like Deliveroo or delivery services is like the impersonal nature between the restaurant and the customer, and that's a really nice way to like bridge that gap. You know, like it's that's really like a bit of lagniappe, which Ollie said, which is kind of that little bit extra to give to someone, which is really nice. After you.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping, that obviously after this we keep our fan base, if you like, locally as well. So we've still got a little following locally that
we have a lot of people
continue to work with after this happens, and we're back in London as well. So
I mean, a lot of people have kind of walked past the van. Because obviously it's on the drive outside our house.
Yeah. Can we go see it? Can you go take us?
Yeah. Excuse the wobbly camera, so
it's all right. Because I didn't have the good fortune to see the van until only on Instagram.
Wow, there she is.
Nice.
This is Steve.
Steve the calamari. Wow, it's good. Looks great.
I mean, annoyingly, they're emptying the bins right now, so it's a little bit noisy. Sorry.
That's okay. So you're doing all your orders from Deliveroo from here in your driveway, and then delivery drivers are coming and picking it up.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we prep a lot of the fish like in our like house kitchen. Just because it's a little bit easier. But yeah, service is just from here, so it's quite nice to do the service straight from here. And yeah, obviously, like we've got plenty of space for the riders to come in, park their bikes, and yeah, that's
amazing. That is some true hustle right there, for sure. Like I don't think many people are setting up their food vans in their back garden and then just letting delivery drivers like come and pick stuff up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we did get a few comments from them. Like it's they don't normally obviously see stuff like that. Just a van parked up the drive, and
I think it's the same dad joke every single drive. We're just like, oh yeah, not far to go home either. Delivery vans.
Yeah. What have your neighbours thought of it? Like, how have they responded to it?
Yeah, really good. They actually like been buying off us, which is good. We was a little bit worried at first, like with smells and obviously we didn't want to annoy them, but no one's.
I mean, everyone's been really, like everyone's kind of been cheering us on, really. Like our neighbours have just kind of said, well, keep, good luck, and it's been really nice about it, haven't they? We were worried about people maybe feeling a bit concerned about delivery drivers coming more often, or people kind of being on the street, but no, it's been really good.
Yeah.
There's nothing normal at the moment, right? So this is just another thing. Let's just onto it. So I guess like what's one of the things you're looking forward to when things get back to normal? What's something you're really hungry to do?
I guess actually just serving people again rather than. Yeah. We were saying the other day when we was in the delivery service. It's kind of like weird, like you're just getting tickets like you're in a restaurant kitchen. It's that interaction I think we're missing with customers and just having a laugh with customers.
Yeah, and just I think and feeling the buzz and the community of other street food traders and the smell of other food, the kind of buzz of everyone setting up together and kind of those conversations and those relationships are definitely something we're looking forward to getting back to. And probably a fair bit of maybe we did have some events and bits booked in that obviously are cancelled, but just possible pop-ups or collaborations with people or just some private events and things that would be really cool just as a different angle.
And hopefully what you've been doing in your direct community will lead to those kind of things around Chelmsford and Essex that maybe wouldn't have transpired otherwise. Like I guess in a way it's, maybe your neighbors might have seen your van, but they may have never ever asked you about it or you'd had your interaction, and now they all know you. That's really nice.
The one positive. Like, I think we will get some, even if it's like you say, like small events and parties and stuff like that. It's always nice to have some local as well.
Connection,
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today and showing us Steve. Good luck with your service this weekend. I think you should film all the drivers coming up to your, do a time lapse of all of the deliveries. That'd be really cool.
We'll do something this weekend.
Just the different drivers, different mopeds, bikes.
Then we can just see Billy saying the same joke over and over again.
Yeah.
Thanks so much and good luck.
Cheers.
All right. So if you want to support Billy and Kaylee and Calamari Canteen and any of our traders who can't currently trade at markets or events or anything like that, you can go to curbfood.store, which is just here, and buy market lunch vouchers to use when our markets come back to normal, which might be earlier than a lot of other food and beverage places. So who knows what's going to happen over the next month. So I'm going to tag team in my co-host Ollie.
Wrong side.
That side. There you go. It's been really fun. We've been seeing the Curb ecosystem in action, which is really, really nice. I guess where the Keep the Wheels Turning kind of came from a little bit.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the end. We're getting to the end of the ecosystem.
Great. Well, I'll leave it to you. Thank you.
Okay, so today we've got our man in Leighton, Taco Dave. Hi, Dave. How's it going?
Hey.
Great. That's exactly the kind of intro that I think everyone assumed you would do.
It was going to be a lot worse, trust me.
Oh, good.
I had the Mexican wrestler mask lined up, everything.
So, what are you going to be cooking for us today?
So we're going to be making migas tacos today. Migas is Spanish for crumbs. And what that basically means is a great way to use yesterday's tortillas for today's breakfast.
So explain to someone who's an idiot like me, a layman, what ingredients go into migas then?
So it's actually super, super simple. It's basically a flour tortilla, scrambled eggs, some cheese, bacon, and you throw into the scramble yesterday's tortilla chips. I've got a bit fancy and cut up my tortillas that I had in the freezer. But if you've got a packet of just supermarket corn tortillas, just crush them up, chuck them in. That'll be absolutely perfect.
Okay, amazing.
And we're gonna pimp it up a little bit, hipsterify it. We're gonna add some black beans, and then we're gonna make a charred tomato salsa roja.
That sounds banging. And we've got an amazing separate angle of your hobs as well that we can look at when you're moving over towards that. So do you want to get started? Do your chopping. I know you've been doing a lot of chopping on Instagram.
Yeah. I like your garlic chop as well. Very, very nice.
Thanks very much. I learned that at the hand of Simon Leward.
Ooh.
Having to do tons and tons of guacamole and just having to mash that all up.
Yeah, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
Have you heard Simon's rap? His fish taco rap?
Yeah. Has he not told you that I've got Clash lyrics lined up?
No, you're gonna do a.
I've got bars.
I thought you meant you got barred from the pub.
No, I heard it and I thought to myself immediately. I was like, well, I can't let this stand. There needs to be some sort of response from the community. So I started writing some response bars. I think I maybe went a little bit too aggressive. I'll just edit them and make them a little bit more Instagram friendly.
There seems to be quite a lot of rappers in street food. I know Oli Baba also. He's got a couple of bars.
Oh, nice.
Maybe get him in. Okay, let's go.
Definitely. Smash. Okay, right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our charred salsa, because what takes ages is charring off tomatoes. So we're going to take some blue roll, wet it. Other forms of kitchen towel are also available. Just I have rolls and rolls and rolls of this. Yep.
What other rolls are there?
Bread rolls. This is how we roll. It's my favorite. So basically, we just want to create a nice, stable, non-sticky base for our chopping board. Then we're just gonna cut open these tomatoes, just nice and easy, just in half. All we're doing is we're creating as big a surface area as possible for the purpose of charring. We really want to get that charry, burnt, smoky flavor, that quintessential Mexican flavor profile.
So when I was going to Mexico, I asked you for some tips of where to go to have like the best taco you can have in Mexico City. But I mean, there's tons of websites online where you can find that. Where's the best place to go in Leytonstone for food?
For tacos or for food?
Just for food generally, because I can't imagine there's too many taco places in Leytonstone.
I mean, not really. I mean, there were some rumours that there was going to be something that I was going to be doing in collaboration with somebody. But obviously that's all been put on hold. So that's very much a watch this space. So hopefully once this is over, I might be able to reveal some more details about availability of tacos in Leytonstone.
That sounds very exciting.
Apart from that, if you like Thai food, Singburi is of course banging. And if you love fried chicken, my sister business, MFC, is doing fried chicken Fridays.
There you go. I mean, I've heard you talk at length about the KFC. Is it the KFC or is it the Chicken Cottage in like Woodford or something?
Oh, no, that's Nino.
Nino.
That's Nino. He loves it. He stands by the fact that they're the best wings he's ever had in his life.
And that's just your regular Chicken Cottage. Just the guy that runs it there.
Chicken Cottage.
Super proud of his chicken.
Must be.
So are you going to...
We're cutting these... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, you're not covering your eyes. I thought you had to do this blindfold.
Oh, no. Sorry, that was the start of lockdown. This is towards the end when no one could be bothered.
Yeah, that's true. We've got a shout out from Nino. He just said, Taco Dave.
Right, so all we're doing here is we're going to char up our onions as well. Just split that down the middle. I keep my seeds in because I like it a little bit spicy.
So when you're charring, you just mean literally burning it, right?
Basically, no, Ollie, I'm charring it. It's a very different technique.
What's the difference then?
Nice. I'm burning it, but I'm lightly burning it. So I'm just charring the outside. I want to retain moisture, but I just want to create a bark on the outside. So we're not just kind of leaving it under the grill for like 4 hours just to take it down to like cinders. We just want to create a nice black bark on the outside, but maintain some moisture and juice on the inside.
Like when you cook a sausage, you undercook a sausage on the barbecue, right? And it's sort of raw on the inside, but on the outside it's black.
Exactly. So it's basically a British barbecue salsa. Right, so we've cut up our onions here. We've split our chili down the middle, and then we've got our garlic here. We don't need to mess around with taking the skins off the garlic. That will happen under the grill. This will be done first, and the onions will take longer. So this will probably take a couple of minutes. We'll turn that over, and then we'll just keep an eye on the tomatoes as well. These are going under the grill just for ease.
But you can't, like, I know some people just stick it straight on the hob without
even. You
even
can stick it straight on the hob. You could, if you just take a pan, no oil, just dry, and you can char it on the pan. It's just that I like to put it under the grill because obviously if you're doing large amounts, you can just stick it under there, and then you can crack on and go and do other stuff and not have to worry about it.
Right. So what's next? Whilst that's charring.
So now we're gonna get our black beans ready. So these are just super normal tinned black beans, average garden variety. If you've got dried, you can rehydrate them yourself. Me personally, I cannot be bothered. So we just take those. We're going to drain off all of the liquid, but I want to reserve it because we're going to use a little bit at the end of the dish to pimp up these mushrooms a little bit. Black beans a little bit.
So that sounds like the secret ingredient in this recipe then.
It's just a nice way just to add some flavored salt, really. You know, you can add salt if you want, but it's already included. So, you know,
I think people are surprised.
Extra flavor.
People are surprised when you cook black beans, like how much salt you actually need.
Oh my goodness, so much. So they are there. So what we're going to do to pimp those up a little bit further as well is we're going to add some onions and garlic. So we're just going to sweat off some onions, but again, not very much.
So we've got dual view now, triple view, including me.
What a world we live in.
So, I mean, you're a taco guru. Having eaten tacos all over the world, from LA, Mexico, does anyone in London do a taco that's legit enough to stand up to that?
See, it depends. When you say legit, what do you mean? Because I have a whole problem with the word legit.
You have a problem with legitimacy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't believe that it exists.
So I would say.
Do you mean? Would you say? Are you asking for like, where's a good place to get tacos like you would in Mexico, or where's a good place to go and get incredible tacos? Like, I think there's definitely a difference.
Okay, well let's pretend I asked both.
Okay, so if you want to go and get super authentic, as you would get in any kind of town taqueria in Mexico City, I think my favorite place in London is La Chingada.
In Surrey Keys.
Which is just in Surrey Keys, yeah. It is the closest thing that I've found to a authentic Mexican street taco in this country.
See, they blew up basically at the start of the year, didn't they? So I think Eater covered them, and then they must have had tons of people queuing around the block. Did you have to queue when you went there?
No, we went on like a Sunday night, and it was super quiet. But one of the benefits of going on a Sunday is that was when they did their barbacoa.
Oof.
And as well as the meat in when you do barbacoa in Mexico, you get the consomme, which is basically the stock that cooks down from the underside of the meat, and they serve the consomme up with like onions, coriander, garlic, and they serve that in like a separate cup, and you can just make your tacos up and dip it into the consomme, drink the consomme. It's like the world's best beef stock. It's like Bovril on crack. Like, it's absolutely mental. It's delicious.
That's what you should do when you when the football starts again. You should do the food at what's the local? It'd be Clapton, I guess.
Leighton Orient.
You could do Leighton Orient, and then you could serve barbacoa and then serve people hot bovril at half time.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm not sure. I did a market near there once, and it was very much a Peter's Pie crowd.
You can't really beat a hot bovril though. In a freezing
hot
cold.
bovril on a cold day is one of the best things on the planet.
And a lukewarm chicken and mushroom pie.
Delicious.
So what are you doing now? You're just sweating off the onions, chopping some garlic.
The onions. We're gonna add this garlic.
And what's that going to be going into?
So the onions and the garlic are sweating off for the black beans.
Right. And that's to sort of just impart a bit more flavour into the beans, right?
Bit more flavour, yeah. If you've got Mexican oregano, use Mexican oregano. I haven't ran out, so I'm just using just like regular oregano, just a little sprinkle of that. If you've got avocado leaves, if you use one of the specialist Mexican suppliers like Cool Chili, Mex Trade, Mex Grocery, those guys, get some avocado leaves. They work really, really well in black beans as well.
Avocado leaves?
Yeah, they're dried. They're delicious.
Are they? I remember eating a taco in Mexico City. It was the place that makes the actual tortillas for Puyol, I think.
Oh,
and they did a taco which was just wrapped in a leaf with a little bit of cheese inside.
And I bet it was absolutely incredible.
It was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things. I can get back to answering you. It's a lot of. I think that like tacos in this country have kind of skipped the stage that we've gone. We went kind of straight to like high-end tacos, and what a lot of people don't get who haven't been to Mexico is that the meat is not the star. Like the protein part of the dish is not the star. The star is the salsa. So oftentimes when you get tacos in Mexico, the meat is just meat. You know, it's just been seasoned with salt or lime, or it's been confit, or it's just been cooked on a plancha, and the flavor comes from either if you're cooking it over stove, over wood, or over charcoal. Obviously, you get like a smoky barbecue flavor, or you just get the Maillard reaction from the meat. Salt, lime is super, super simple. It's the salsa that's the star. And I kind of think that a lot of restaurants in this country, where they do tacos, they try and make the protein the star because that's what people in this country are used to. You know, the main, the hero part of the dish is the meat, and they try and put all of their effort into that. That's what La Chingada do well. Like the meat isn't the star. Their salsas are incredible.
Right. Okay. And I think that it's interesting as well because, like, you go to Mexico and tacos are everywhere, right? They're what people eat.
Oh, everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
They're what people eat at like 1 a.m, at lunchtime, any time of day, basically.
Absolutely.
And I was trying to think of like what is a similar dish that you get in the UK that is like that, and I can only really think of
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's. So, Taco Bell hasn't done nearly as well here as I think people thought it would.
As Taco what? Sorry.
Taco Bell. I don't think it's done nearly as well here as I thought it would.
No, I think there's very few in the country. It's just it's just people just don't. They haven't grown up with it. It's like So migas are from Austin. It's like an absolute Austin staple. And if people in Austin, obviously because Texas is so close to Mexico. Texas used to be a part of Mexico, but because it's so close, people have grown up with those communities on their doorstep. They've grown up with the food, so it's just part of the culture that tacos are a thing. Whereas in this country, we don't have that. We don't have a huge Mexican population.
Yeah, I guess like if you look at all the sort of roots of immigration to the UK, it's the Caribbean, India, those kind of places, and that's why you get that. Yeah. There's a ton of that food in the UK.
Absolutely, which is which is great. It's just not tacos.
Yeah. So you look at. I can't see what you're doing right now, but are you looking at the charring of the onions?
Yeah. I'm just turning over the chilies. They'll be done in about a minute, and I was just addressing the onions as well. So we added a little bit of water and some of this broth, this briny broth, back into the black beans, and we're going to heat that up. And what we're going to do with the beans, basically, my preference for beans is to basically take half of them, mash them up a little bit, and then you've got that mixture of whole beans with a little bit of, a bit of mouth bite, my mouth feel, and you have like a smooth kind of black beany Mexican mayonnaise vibe going on as well.
So you're making it a bit creamier.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
Exactly. So we might as well just while we're waiting for that, we might as well get our eggs ready for the scramble. Now, this is the official Taco Dave secret way of scrambling eggs. So you have to promise Ollie not to tell anyone else.
It's not in the microwave, is it?
No, it's not. It's way unhealthier.
I can see. There's either a tub of butter on the side behind
that's
you.
Cheese. That's cheese. I'm hiding the butter for the final reveal at the end.
Okay.
Now we just put a little tiny bit of salt in here because you'll see why in a minute. We just incorporate a bit of pepper as well. We'll just incorporate that. Get those eggs looking all silky and homogeneous and delicious.
Do you cook this regularly?
And this is the bit. Breakfast tacos, yeah, I do. It's just migas are nice because I like the combination of the flour tortillas and the corn tortillas inside it. So I like that. That contradiction of using the two different tortillas. Right, okay. So, just so you can see, these chilies are charred.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we're happy with those. Onions have got a way to go yet. Tomatoes are still going. So this is what I'm talking about when I mean char. So we've got some black, some charry areas, but obviously we've still got that flexibility. So we're still nice and soft inside. So we've still got some pliability there. That's exactly what we want.
Nice.
Same with the garlic. Outside is nice and charry, and then that makes it super easy to peel. That is my garlic. This is quite a lot of garlic for a small salsa, but when you char it like this, it's exactly the same as roasting garlic. It takes a lot of the aggressiveness away, so it becomes a very much like a duller, warmer, more rounded garlicky flavor. So you can go heavier on the garlic than you would if it was raw.
It almost like caramelizes all the sugar in it as well.
Exactly.
So
throwing beans all over the gaff.
Hot sauce wise, what have you got in your locker right now?
What did I salvage from the kitchen?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Valentina is a great go-to for everyday stuff. To be honest, I make some salsas at home if I could be bothered. They're nice to go in the fridge. If you're making them with vinegar, they last forever. There's some really great like 3-ingredient salsas that will literally last for years in your fridge if you want them. There's a really nice El Yucateco charred habanero salsa that I get from Mex Grocer, which is really great. And actually, there's another one. This has been in my fridge. Where is it? I'm not going to find it now, am I? Oh, here it is. This has been in my fridge since the last time I went to Mexico, and it is unbelievable. It is so good. You don't understand how many times I tried to phone the telephone number on the bottle to try and get this imported. It is just an unbelievable habanero salsa roja. It's so good. That goes on. That is great with eggs.
There you go. So where would you tell people to get these hot sauces? Mex Grocer.
Yeah, Mex Grocer, Mex Trade, and Cool Chili do their own brand salsas, which are pretty decent as well.
Nice. So
Okay, so we're just keeping these beans moving.
Oh, we can see you in getting the stuff out of the oven.
Okay, right. So I'm going to show you what the onions are looking like.
Yeah, I can
That's
see
the char
that.
we're looking for on the onions.
So you
We're
still got
just
the
gonna flip those
tomatoes
over.
in the oven now?
Yeah, the tomatoes take so long to char. You would think that because onions are so much harder, that they would take longer. Onions are so fast compared to tomato. They're fussy bastards.
So let's talk about, whilst you're doing that, let's talk about your business. You've pretty much gone into hibernation, right?
So I've been in hibernation for, well, up until last Friday, because my wife is classed as high risk because she's pregnant. So we've basically just been indoors pretty much the whole time. But it's just basically got to the point where I have to earn some money. So I've started selling fried chicken from my back garden.
Nice. How's that going so far? Is that on Deliveroo or just like people you know?
No. It's just local. It's just I put it on local Facebook groups, and yeah, the response has been incredible. I've been really, really happy. First week we sold out. Second week, I've sold out already. Pre-orders. So yeah, it's going much better than expected, and it's literally just from my back garden.
That's pretty good. Cheap.
Yeah,
cheap.
I'm well happy with it. Yeah, absolutely. My wife is unpaid labour. She loves that. She loves working with me and my missus. She loves it. We definitely don't argue at all.
So hang on,
completely harmonious relationship.
What happened to the scrambled eggs? Where are they? We haven't done that yet.
Oh, sorry. Right, so that's just a little bit of cheese for later. Okay, this is the part where my wife has a literal heart attack. So there's a secret to scrambled eggs. More butter than you would ever possibly conceivably imagine. So this is a block of butter, roughly, width-wise. I'm going to take about 20%. I'm taking that much butter.
And how many eggs did you put in?
3.
So it's about, a similar weight of butter to eggs. It's like that famous.
It's probably about. It's probably about 60. Well, I mean, obviously the butter is denser, but it's probably 60-40.
It's like that famous mashed potato recipe. What's his name? Joel Robuchon, where he does.
Oh yeah, it's like all butter.
50% potato, 50% butter.
This is the thing, If you're a chef, you're not. You're a chef. You're there to give people good food and a good time. You're not the doctor.
But so, when you're cooking for your say this wasn't for TV now, would you be doing? Yeah. Would you be putting in that much butter for?
Oh yeah, I just put it in and don't tell her. Which I've grasped myself up now, haven't I?
It's all right. I'm sure she's not watching.
Oh, she'll find out. She has her ways.
So
that is that's a. Sorry, go on.
I was saying I was going to say I have a similar thing going where I put in way too much salt for my girlfriend. So I use salt and butter liberally.
I do that as well. She hates it. But it makes everything taste so good.
Yeah, I know. My dad used to eat the salt and shake crisps, but take the salt out and just have plain fried potato.
Oh yeah, no, it's really weird when I tell people that my favourite flavour of potatoes are the plain ones.
Have you heard recently that you can? People have been talking about how you can make a tortilla, like a Spanish tortilla, using crisps and adding eggs to that, and everyone's like, "That sounds disgusting." Nice. And then I think it was like Ferran Adrià.
That's basically this dish.
Yeah.
That's essentially this dish. I mean, migas. So I'm making migas tacos. You can make migas on a plate. which is very similar to chilaquiles, but which is literally just like you don't smash a tortilla chip. So it's basically just scrambled eggs, whole tortilla chip, so your little triangles, and everything in there, which is kind of similar.
Sounds
you scrambled eggs, you know, it's like a frittata with with crisps in. Just don't use Doritos. Don't be a dickhead.
A Dorito is your least favorite snack?
Like I have a love-hate relationship with Doritos. Like I actually really like cool original Doritos. They're really tasty. It's just people always use them to be like, oh, I'm going to do something with Doritos, but I'm going to use it in a high-end environment because I'm all cool and that. It just annoys me.
So we're talking about like Dorito crumbed chicken or something?
Yeah, those guys can do one.
I never realised you were so passionate about different sort of batters and crumbs.
I just, you know, if there's an opportunity to be a dick about something, I'll take it.
Right, are we doing the eggs now?
No. This is one of those things where everything comes together all at the end.
Oh my God.
I know, right? The tension.
It's very exciting.
Okay. Right, one side of our tomatoes are done. We're good. So we'll just flip those over. Again, so I'm going to show you what a charred tomato looks like. This is a charred tomato.
That looks
these little guys, these little guys are going a little bit. Oh, look at that! Actually, those little ones are Romeo done. That again is the benefit of doing them in the oven. You get 2 for the price of 1.
So they're ready to go. Are you going to be? I don't want to spoil it. But are you going to be blending all of this up, or is it?
Oh, ole!
I've spoiled it.
Yeah, if you wanted to be super authentic, you could do it in a pestle and mortar and use that and do like a Western equivalent of a molcajete. But again, we're just going to be taking this in the I want to eat as quickly as possible and do as little washing up as possible mindset. So we're just going to use an immersion blender.
What's your opinion on people leaving avocado stones in guacamole?
It depends. Because they want to make it last longer?
I don't know. I think it's a placebo. I don't think it makes any difference.
I think that it is a placebo. I think that once you've basically opened it to the oxygen, you basically need to keep it airtight. So what I do, spoiler alert, if you make it the day before, I'll mix in 75% of the lime juice that I need into the guacamole, and then the remaining 25% I'll put it on top to create like a thin film of lime juice, and then I cover that up with cling film, and that will last for 2, 3, 4 days, and it does not go brown at all.
Good tip. I'll use that.
And again, if it does go brown, it's just going to be the top part that comes into contact with the air. You can just scoop that out, or just be a goddamn man and just mix it in, and it's fine. It tastes exactly the same. It just doesn't look as good.
Just goes a slightly muddier green.
Yeah, but once you've mixed that up with everything else, you can't tell.
Have you looked at accessing any of the government help for businesses?
I'm in the process of. It's just it's the stuff for businesses like us has basically been not particularly forthcoming. It's been mostly about kind of furloughed staff who are on PAYE and people who pay business rates and stuff, which I don't on my unit, unfortunately. So there's some bounce back loan stuff I'm looking at doing. There's some top-up grants that have come out specifically for people in shared spaces, which I'm going to apply for. But it's one of those things where the government has announced it, but the local authorities are still playing catch-up.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for those local authorities to be in a position to say, this is how you apply this is the process.
It's a hell of a lot of work. I feel a little bit sorry for all the local authorities where they're like, right, you've got to send money out to every business in your borough.
Yeah.
Only time I ever feel that sorry for the council.
Yeah.
So, what are you missing more? Are you missing being on the markets, or are you missing your work husband, Nick from Cypress Kitchen?
Oh, it's okay. We talk every day. That's fine. Like, we talk every day. It's beautiful.
Do you fall asleep with him on Zoom on a laptop?
We haven't done that. We haven't done that yet. But I think it might be coming. Right, so we'll just get a little bit ahead of ourselves. So into this charred salsa, we're going to put some lime juice as well. I'm going to put 2 limes in there, squeeze that, and then we can taste it and see if we need any more. My catering supplier introduced me to the most hilarious name to this when I first started going into him. I said, this was when I first started. I was like, one of those like squeezy things that barman used to take the juice out of limes, because I was doing it by hand. And it was like killing my fingers. And he was like, oh, a Mexican elbow. And I was like, amazing.
That's great. I love that.
So that's what this is officially called now.
I used to be a pretty bit of a whiz on the old electric juicer. And I would get 2 gastros full of limes and then using each hand go like left, right, left, right.
Nice.
Just because it was so boring doing it, so you had to make it as quick as possible.
Nice. Yeah, it was a very laborious task. I'm not that guy who buys that ready squeeze stuff from Booker yet. I'm trying to put it off for as long as possible. It does not
no, you can't do that. It definitely tastes different.
Yeah, definitely.
People think it doesn't, but it does. It just doesn't taste as sweet.
No, it doesn't.
Right. So what are we doing now?
Full disclosure. Again, this is why you have to taste as you go. So I've put all of that salty water back in. I didn't think I was going to have to use all of it. I've used all of it, and to be honest, I might even have to use a bit more salt. This is what happens. The Mexican brown beans that I buy, more salt, are already kind of pre-seasoned. They've got your onions and your garlic and your salt in there. Whereas these shoddy Tesco versions are not. So also in the background as well, the bacon is on.
Nice.
So we're just going to crisp off that bacon. Much better.
Black beans are such a salt sponge.
Oh. But they're so delicious though. When you get them right, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, so they're virtually done. They are virtually, and they're so healthy as well. They're so good for you.
What bit's healthy?
The black bean.
What is it like? What antioxidants?
Yeah, they're good for everything,
So those tomatoes are fully charred.
No, that was the onions. I'm burning my oven glove. I've killed my oven glove for you, Ollie. It's dead.
Oh no! How'd you do that?
It was just the char. It was on its way out. Look, you can see. Look, it's on its way out, and that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, don't hurt yourself.
Okay, so we're good. Right, we're good. So these are the tomatoes. We're fully good on those.
So that's where you can kind of almost like feel the skin peeling off really easily, right?
But we want the skin.
Okay.
I don't want to discard all that char. That's done. So we can. I will now stop running out of shot, so it'll be a little bit easier for you.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to show you as well what I had to do to get tortillas, because Tesco's mugged me off. I had to cut them out of burrito wraps.
What can you do with them?
I'm going to play frisbee with my daughter in the garden with them in a minute.
Do you?
Okay, so beans. Go on.
No, go on. Beans are done.
My beans are done. So I'm just gonna take my aggression on the UK government out on 50% of these beans.
I think you should name different politicians every time you do it.
This is Rishi Sunak. I can't say Boris Johnson because I just take it and just dash it against the wall and then burn it. Right, that's done. Okay, so this is the kind of how are my beans looking?
Yeah, thickening up.
Thickening up a little bit. We'll just put them on a super low heat just to carry on reducing, and they will be delicious.
How's that bacon looking?
As you go along. Yeah, bacon's looking sexy.
Very good.
You know, I'm using bacon, but excuse me, migas are one of those dishes you can use whatever you want. If you've got some chorizo lying around, use chorizo. If you've got turkey bacon, use turkey bacon. If you've got halloumi, use halloumi. You can make it vegetarian. It's basically you just stick whatever breakfast protein you want in there. You can do it with sausage, whatever you want. I'm just doing the kind of like, this is the Austin version that I ate every day for 2.5 weeks.
When were you in Austin? When was that?
Last January.
What was some of the highlights of that trip?
Apart from the standard barbecue places that you would expect, like Franklin Barbecue was incredible. There's a place called Valentina's Barbecue. They do like a Tex-Mex barbecue. That's incredible. Tacos Veracruz that's where I had the best migas. The whole time I was in Austin was Tacos Veracruz. Are so good. There's two sisters set up the business, and like 90% of the workforce are female, and just the food is incredible. So good.
Amazing. Can you see yourself moving out to Austin, if you could?
Oh my God, I'd love to move to Austin. I'd love to do like a year in Austin. I'd love to do a year in Austin, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll work with my wife's job and our life, unfortunately.
What time did you have to get to Franklin Barbecue to eat the food?
We got there at 7:30 and ate at 1 o'clock, and that was a quiet day.
At 7:30 and ate at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and that was a quiet day. They said.
Is it genuinely worth the wait?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Like, how can anything? There must be other barbecue places that are.
Ollie, I ate barbecue. Every single day I had barbecue in Austin. I was like, oh, this is better than yesterday. This is better than yesterday. And then Franklin was actually the last barbecue we ate. And it was literally just like, I don't want to eat barbecue again. And to be honest, I didn't eat barbecue for 9 months after that. It was just so heavy, but in a good way, so thick, so unctuous. It was unbelievable. It was so good.
Do you think Smoke and Bones can get there one day?
I hope so. I think they do plan to get out to Austin. So, and their supplier, Franklin's supplier for brisket is a halal supplier. Actually, he's a Muslim. The guy they buy their beef from. So, Smoke and Bones will be able to eat it as well. So, right, I'm gonna blitz this up over here, Ollie, on this stove camera.
Okay.
This is our tomatoes, our onions, our garlic, and our chili. So we're going to make a bit of a racket now. I like this kind of chunky, rustic.
Rustic.
You know, you say rustic, you can charge more for it.
Yeah, artisanal. And so all you've put in there is lime juice. You haven't put.
Sorry?
all you've put in there is lime juice. You haven't put anything else in there, have you?
Yeah, there's lime juice in there.
Did you put vinegar
add
in?
a bit more salt now. No, no vinegar. We don't need it because I think we're probably going to have to add extra lime. We'll add one extra lime. This is one of those salsas where it gets better on day 2. On day 2, it's unbelievable. And what I would recommend you do as well is when you add the coriander, I'm doing a smaller amount, so I haven't done it. But if you're doing a bigger amount, blitz the stalks in with all the veg, and then add the leaves afterwards. Stir the leaves in.
Right, so you get the flavour from the stalks as well.
You just get extra hit of flavour because obviously the stalks have a slightly different, more earthy flavour. Just add that in.
Do you think you'll ever sell salsa? You do a little jar of salsa for people?
I'd like to. It's just so many people want to do it. I don't know, man. I'd like to. Like at the moment, I just kind of want to survive out of this, and then we'll look at everything after that.
Yeah. Do you look at?
So that is my salsa.
Nice.
Nice and muddy and charry. We're actually going to add a little bit more salt into that if I can find it.
So what's the difference between?
It's already salted because I salted the tomatoes before I stuck them under the grill.
What's the difference between a salsa roja and a salsa verde?
Salsa roja is red, salsa verde is green.
And what's the different ingredient that people use?
So what makes it green? It will either be green chili or tomatillos. And tomatillos are something that we don't really get in this country, but they look like a tomato, but they're more closely related to gooseberries. They're very, very small and very, very tart, but they're delicious. So I wish you could get them more readily available because they make an absolutely incredible salsa. Tomatillos, garlic, avocado, coriander is just one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Nice.
Such an incredible combination. Okay, so our bacon is done. Obviously, guys, I'm doing like a lot of like eating with one spoon, dipping it into things, dipping it into other things. Please don't pick me up on it. I'm just doing it because it's at home. I wouldn't do it anywhere else.
No, you're fastidious with your health and safety on the stall.
I am. Got to be clean. So what we're going to do, we're going to reserve this bacon because we're going to warm our tortillas up in the manteca, the lard, the fat from the bacon. You know, fat is flavour, and if you have a chance to keep it and add it, keep it and add it. Do not throw it away. Reserve it, stick it in the fridge, fry everything in it. It's one of the best things in the world.
I feel like
okay, right. So go on.
I was going to say I feel like Mexican food, they use lard a lot more than any other countries, really.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so this is where everything comes together now. So those beans are done. We're just going to leave those to kind of chill out a little bit. Obviously, we're using non-stick pans because we want to make our washing up easier, but we will help it up a little bit with just a little bit more butter.
Who's going to be eating these with you?
Sorry?
Who's going to be eating these with you?
Just me, myself, and I.
Oh, nice.
My wife doesn't get any because she's been taking the mickey out of me setting up the kitchen for this video, so she is not getting any.
She's going to regret that.
Right, so in goes she will. She's going to regret that. In goes our eggy butter mix. Now, as I said to you, I did the kind of like the fancy restaurant version of strips because I had leftover tortillas. If you don't have them, again, just use crushed up tortilla chips straight out of the bag, and that's absolutely fine. just not Doritos, unless you want me to come round and kneecap you.
And he will.
And keep your scramble. I really will. I'm a man of my word. I'll do a socially distanced kneecap him. Right, so the secret to this is not to throw your crispy tortillas in too early, because you don't want them to just, I fried them this morning. You don't want them to get too soggy. They'll be a little bit soggy, but you still want them to have a little bit of crisp as well. So there's that. In goes our cheese. I've used a mild cheddar for this, but Gouda is great. It's a lovely stretchy cheese and it isn't too strongly cheese flavored. So they go in now.
And you're just mixing everything together.
We're literally just making a big scramble. It looks ugly as sin, but it's delicious. Right, we're gonna warm our tortillas. I'm gonna take the eggs off the heat.
What consistency do you like your eggs?
Runny, like just undercooked.
Like cottage cheese.
Just like a little bit above there, Basically, a lot less than my missus likes them. And as I said, she's pregnant at the moment, so I have to overcook everything currently.
All those raw steaks you were eating, and blue cheese.
Sorry,
all that raw steak.
None of that. Although she still manages to find time to have a cheeky gin and tonic here and then. So it's a bit hypocritical, I think.
I think you're allowed to have one.
Yeah, one's fine.
Like none of this advice. None of this advice
are done
when my parents were having me. So I'm all right.
Yeah. Just do what the French do. They say you can have one glass of wine a day, so I'm down with that.
Yeah. You can drive heavy machinery.
So there are tortillas. Exactly. Okay, so we're going to use the beans as our base and as our kind of our glue. So beans are going to go on first. Turn that pan off because it's very, very hot. Then we're going to go with our scramble, with our tortilla chips and our bacon. Again, when you get these in Texas, they come on the most hilariously massive, oversized flour tortillas. It's like literally, it's not a breakfast, it's like a meal for the day. Absolutely incredible. They literally come out and like you get 2 10-inch tortillas. It's amazing.
That already looks good. I'd eat that already.
Okay, then we're going to add our charred salsa Roja on there.
How spicy do you reckon that is on the Nando scale?
It's not that spicy. We just use two little kind of finger chilies. Actually, if you go to Tesco, they sell jalapenos, which are a little bit spicier. I'm going to go to the other camera now. Just clear away a little bit. Right. Okay. So there is our. Get that out of the way. I'm going to cut a lime just for garnish. Do it the Mexican way. This is the best way to cut your limes for garnish. Just cut straight down the side there. You should get the maximum amount of juice out.
Yeah, I love that.
A little bit of sour cream, which is a little bit runny. So if it looks crap, please excuse me. Yeah, it's a bit runny.
Just a bit of single cream.
A little bit of feta. Looks like single cream. Is actually sour cream. A little bit of feta. You can also grate some Parmesan on top. That's also nice.
Feta's like the closest equivalent you get to the queso fresco, right?
Yeah. if you want to make it super close, you can wash it, so you can remove some of the salty flavor away, and that makes it even more authentic. Dash of chopped coriander, and we're done.
Amazing. Right, I want you to. Can you get
migas tacos?
Can you get in front of the camera and do a big bite?
A big bite. This camera here.
Yeah.
I hope this is going to come with a triple X rating, Ollie, because it's about to get sexy. Right, so we're gonna. Get that on there. This is a hefty taco.
That is a hefty taco.
I want to get a bit of everything.
That is very
so good.
Indeed.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, right. Okay. I think we're going to have to cut there because it's getting a bit X-rated. But thank you so much for that, Dave. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, this video will be on YouTube now forever. So if anyone wants to watch your video of making migas, you can just send them here. So thanks, Dave. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. What are you doing for the rest of the day?
Tidying up.
Okay, fair. All right. Well, I'll see you soon.
Cheers,
bye,
guys.
Dave.
See you later.
So thank you for watching. I'm going to bring back our main host, Jack Farger. Hi, Jack. You're muted.
No, sorry.
What did you think of that? Jealous? Every time I watch it, I get incredibly jealous about the food that gets made.
Yeah, I was like, why do I not have bacon? Why do I not have tortilla chips? Like, I need to sort this out.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to the shop right now.
Awesome. Enjoy.
So we've got on Tuesday next week, we're going to do a workshop again. Yeah. And then we'll be doing another boot camp. If you want to apply to be on the boot camp, the link will be in the description. I think it is today, but it will be eventually if you're watching this not live. And if not, just send us an email and we'll pick it up, or contact us on Instagram. And so we'll see you on Tuesday next week.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Keep the wheels turning.
Keep the wheels turning.